This is James Lupton for Slothbox, sponsored by the Excelsior Sporting Club, and I'm joined today with Nigel Travis, coach to the champion, Chantelle Cameron. Just first of all, let's start with the celebrations. How was it after the win?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was as good as it gets. That's the honest answer, James. It's if you can celebrate after doing what everybody maybe bet against you to do or expected you to not do. So yeah, it was just fantastic. We just have the drug test. They come in, so you have to hang around there quite a long way, get hydrated. But she had a beer, which was okay. That went through her quite quickly, which was nice. So yeah, did the press conference, did the media, and it was phenomenal. It was as good as it gets, and the feeling of elation is just what you're in the sport for. It's what anybody would be in the sport to do. It's the biggest fight I've ever been involved in. It's the best night I had in this sport, without a doubt. And I've had some really big nights, decent nights, massive occasions, but that was as good as it gets.
You mentioned, getting that win, and it's something that not many people had expected or thought that you guys and Chantelle could do. Even Chantelle said herself she wasn't sure that she'd get the judges' scorecards in her favour on the night in Ireland. Is that something that was a worry for you and the team going into the fight?
Yeah, well, you can't not be in the way the way the game is. I mean, you know the game. People know the game. People who listen to this podcast, they're interested in the sport, and they know that things go wrong. We know it happens on a regular occasion, and then because of the magnitude of the fight, because Chantelle was almost dismissed, metaphorically speaking. She just, I don't want to say disrespected. I got a load of stick yesterday on Twitter because I was just having a laugh and tweeted a photograph of Chantelle, and I'm not disrespectful at all. Katie Taylor's a stalwart of this sport and deserves her place where she is. But Chantelle took that place as far as I was concerned. So I've got to be completely honest and frank though. When we were there, I didn't feel unnerved. Even when the first card came out at 95, I didn't feel unnerved. I didn't feel we were going to get jobbed like we've been jobbed before. But because I thought there was definitely only one winner of that fight, and there were some close rounds. The word subjective is a killer of it in our sport. It's subjective, but a lot of the times, when someone's won. When someone deserves to win. And there was, as far as I was concerned, there was only going to be one winner. There was only one winner. How the panned out, how the fight panned out. So I didn't feel as nervous as I did. So when the first scorecard came out in Scotland, I thought we're going to get jobbed here, and it was a simple thing. That was a simple fact. So I was worried, but they were completely. I mean, I think they all should be neutral judges, but they were completely neutral. They weren't from any nation, local, American, Canadian, and so that maybe gives you a bit of a level playing field. Although everyone knows Chantelle Cameron, everyone knows no one knows Chantelle Cameron. Everyone knows Katie Taylor, so they could have liked her work and what she's done for the sport. And it's hard not to be biased, and because she's a fantastic. Can't give her enough praise, but she chose wrong. She chose wrong by calling out Chantelle Cameron because she's just too good, too good. Simple as that.
You mentioned that everyone knows Katie Taylor. Does everyone now know Chantelle Cameron?
God willing, they do, and you would expect and hope that this changes her life unrecognisably. So I've seen people on social media, and I tried to stay off it up to it, but then afterwards you're overjoyed because everyone's saying, "Hey, well done," and it's just an egotistical nonsense. You can't help but let your head swell and become a right knobhead. But I stayed away from it, but I just thought, what can we all? Where's it going to go? And so I've been getting stick for doing whatever, but the respect is unheralded for her. She's the stalwart of this sport. She, Jane Couch was one of the first, and she took it to the place it needed to be. Kay Taylor has eclipsed it by far and taken it to a whole new level, and she deserves her place as a Hall of Famer, an outright great. But her choosing to fight Chantelle Cameron on the 20th was a big mistake. Now, that fight wouldn't have happened on Saturday night if it wasn't for Kay Taylor. The reason it happened is because Kay Taylor wanted it to happen. I think everyone, her team, would have kept her away from Kay Taylor, Chantelle Cameron, definitely, if they could. But and I've got off my cap again. She there was no hydration clauses. There was no insisting there to be a catchway and all that stuff. She wanted it on a level playing field, and she got it. And I'm massively proud of Chantelle.
You mentioned there's no hydration clause, etc. There was one clause in there, and that was the rematch clause. Is there a particular weight that will be at? Is there a date already in mind? I know we're only a few days after the fight, but is there anything in early talks yet?
I'm not. I know what you know. I'm in the dark. Like not in the dark, but I heard what Eddie Hearn said. Eddie Hearn said it will be immediately. That's what he said. But Chantelle Cameron, for her past 2 fights, has been 2 undisputed world champions, and she has risked everything. And the girls that she's fought have risked absolutely nothing apart from them getting a loss. So they've risked nothing. They've had all their belts still intact. They're still undisputed. So it's been it was a get out of jail free card for her. For both those girls. Chantelle Cameron is the only one who's taken risks, and she needs to be that needs to be acknowledged, and now that needs to be addressed. So, in my eyes, she can fight Cascala again. She can fight Kay Taylor again at their own individual weights. So she can go up to 147. She can go down to 135, whatever. But the nation of our sport, the sport that we all love so much, has to give her the massive respect of taking those risks. And everything that was asked for, she said yes. So the women are without a doubt teaching the men how to do it. They are showing the way, and of course, maybe it's easier because maybe the depth of the sport isn't as big, obviously. But they're doing it. They're doing it as we all want everyone else to do. People, if fights that are being talked about now don't get made, it's because of ego, being on one side of the poster, coming out first, and I don't know. It's just nonsense, and it's a shame. But the women are showing how it's done, and long may it continue. Eddie said in the ring that they're looking at autumn, late summer, autumn. That's what they're talking about. So I've got a bit of exchange that I don't know, but she some credit has got to be put on the name of Chantelle Cameron. Something's got to be done for that name, because people, as I said, what people talked about. She's now in the conversation for pound in the sport. She has to be, not in the conversation. Katie Taylor was the pound for pound number 1. Is there an argument that it was either her or Clarissa Shields? Okay, but Katie Taylor is unparalleled what she's done for this sport. Unparalleled, the Olympic champion, world champion, amateur world champion, 2-way world champion, phenomenal, and she's still undisputed. So. It's great, but my girl was just better.
Absolutely. You mentioned she's obviously risked everything. She's gone away. She's fought away from home, etc. Last 2 fights against putting her belts on the line. Now she's got to be in the driving seat now for if it's a rematch next. Would she like to fight? Let's say if it's in Manchester or Northampton, would you like to fight at home on home ground for her?
Yeah, I think anyone would want to go home, of course. Um, but it's prize fighting, this, and it's all about prize fighting. So wherever the biggest prize is, that's the God's honest truth. She's earned her place by saying yes to everything. Everything that was offered, the initial offer, and listen, I'm sure everyone knows business. You don't accept the first offer. You play out for it, you play hard, but whatever. She said yes to everything because she wanted to get it made, and I believe that the second fight is miles bigger. But they may think, no, we can't do it that way. We can't. She needs some credit being got for. She's got some credit on her name, and she is in the driving seat, I believe. Listen, I'm not a businessman. I don't know the business behind this sport. I'm paying, I just come in here, train these kids how to do it, and I teach these kids how to do it, and that's my job. That's as far as it goes.
And just finally, Nigel, before I let you go, just how was Chantelle feeling after that win? Obviously, the biggest one of her career so far. Like you say, put her name on the map. She's got to be up there in the conversation for pound. Has that sunk into Chantelle yet? Have you noticed a change in her at all, or is it something that may come later?
Yeah, well, so the next day, she was sore. She was very sore yesterday morning, and it was basically a pinch yourself moment, And I spoke to her today. She's gone back to Northampton. She's back with the family back in Northampton, and we spoke before. And she just said, "I just can't believe it." It's because the magnitude of where she is, what she's done. 99% of the people in that stadium wanted her to lose, and most of the people watching expected her to lose. I believe we didn't. We didn't. We saw all our friends, family, people we know get some dough on her because the odds are not bad. She was 7-4, and he was saying, is she going to stop her? I said, she's going to win. I'm telling you, she's going to win by hook or by crook. By any means, she'll win. But I was 100% certain that she'd win. Me and Jamie were 100% certain that she would win. She had her doubts, of course she did, and we discussed, what's happened in previous fights that people have been jobbed and not got a decision. But she's pinched herself to say we did it, and we all, it was a long night for us. We had a long night after the event, but it was worth it. And she's not different now. She's this exact same kid, but I believe that she's going to get better now. So we said from the start that this is beginning. We had a song all the way through it. It was a Tupac song saying it's all about you, because as far as we've been concerned, it's been all about Chantelle Cameron from the start. She set the tone for that fight. She made that fight, what it was. The reason she won is because she was so dominant, and that we're just absolutely elated, and she's buzzing. And I suppose thinking over the next few weeks, she's coming up at the weekend for the fights of the weekend, so that's good, and we'll be able to maybe relax and just chill out and have a few light ales.
Fantastic. Well, Nigel, I want to thank you for your time today and congratulations again.
Thank you. God bless you.